What's up, guys? Python here, finally back with another video, and I know I've been gone for a very long time. I just have been, I'll address maybe another time where I've been lately, what's going on with me, but hockey's back, so am I, so let's just not even waste any time. We're going to jump right into my predictions for the season. I'm just using the tier list just to make this a little easier, and I got some hot takes for you guys. I got some really hot takes, and I'm ready to get bashed on for my predictions. We're going to go last place to first place each division. We're going to do the East last just because Ranger fan, I'm going to do my division last. So let's start with the North then. In last place, I have the Ottawa Senators. I'll just adjust it as we go. Now, the reason it's just so tough because I was a little high on them, but I could also see them getting in the playoffs at the same time because they added Stepan, added Danov, added Matt Murray. They add a bunch of pieces that I think that they could sneak into the playoffs. It's just that I don't know if it's there for them to get into the playoffs, but don't be surprised if they do. But I have them coming in last place in the division. Coming in sixth place for the division, this is probably my hottest take. We've got the Edmonton Oilers. Now, the reason I have the Oilers, yes, they have the talent up front, but defensively, they are just so weak right now, especially with injuries. And then in goal, they are just, my God, the goaltending is just awful. And in a short season where you're really going to need to rely on two goaltenders more than in a normal season, I feel like I have the Oilers in seventh place because of it, because they just do not have good goaltending. Now, coming in fifth place in the division, I have a team that everyone's high on. I have the Montreal Canadiens. I'm not too high on them. I think that they could sneak in. I was lower on them before when I was first playing around with my predictions, but now that I think about it a little, they added Jake Allen, who's a legit backup, added Edmonton. They have a couple of young guys coming up. I think that Montreal could sneak into the playoffs, but I think that they're going to need, I think after this year, they'll be kind of more of a proven playoff team, but don't sleep on Montreal. You can't really sleep on any of the teams in this Canadian division here, or the North division rather. But Montreal, I think that they are going to, I think they're going to finish fifth place, and I think that they could be a sneaky team. Now, coming in fourth place, I have the Winnipeg Jets. You add Paul Stastny to play Patrick Laine. I think that it will work. If Laine gets traded, obviously this prediction is just not going to happen, but I think that Hellbuck, I don't know if he's going to have the season he did last year. I think it will be good enough, though, to get them into the playoffs. And I just like that forward group. I like defensively. They showed that they were getting a little bit better last year towards a little bit later in the season. That's just kind of their big question mark for me. But if the defense could play a little bit better, then Winnipeg definitely is going to finish fourth in the division. Now, coming in third, I have the Vancouver Canucks. I think Demko is going to prove that he could be a legit starter. Hope he's going to bounce back. There's no way he could be worse than he was before. The forward group, obviously, we know how good it is. Defensively is their question mark also, but I think that the goaltending will be good enough to hold them a spot in the division to get them a playoff spot. Coming now in second place, I have the Calgary Flames. I think that they've made some good moves this offseason. Obviously, you add Markstrom, you add Tanev, they got a couple Canucks players. I think that the Flames, I think that Gaudreau's going to have an insane year. I don't know why. I just have this feeling Gaudreau's going to go off this year. And I think that it's going to help Calgary get the second place spot in the division. First place, we got the Toronto Maple Leafs. I think that this is going to be, I know last year and year after year, everyone typing up the Leafs. This year, you add TJ Brody, you add guys like Wayne Simmons, Joe Thornton, you add veteran presence to that team, you add good depth with Jimmy Vesey and Boyd, you add some nice depth, like I said. I think that the Maple Leafs are going to finish first place in the division. Not that I think that they would in any other division, but this division specifically, I think they'll finish first place in. Now, moving on to the West Division. In last place, I have the Arizona Coyotes. I just don't personally like the team. I mean, they tried trading Oliver Ekman-Larsson. Like, what are they doing? I don't even know what Arizona, they don't even have their first round draft pick this year because of the scandals. I'm sorry, AZ Sports Guy, if you're watching this, but man, like Arizona is just a complete dumpster fire. And I think that things are only going to get worse from here. They got to trade some guys. They got to find a way to trade Ekman Larson, trade Phil Kessel, trade as many pieces as you can, get some draft capital back for these guys because, man, Arizona is just not going to be in a good position. I think that they have to try to contend just for the sake of that, the fact that they don't have their draft pick, I should say. But, man, that's just, it's tough, Arizona. I'm sorry, Arizona fans, but that's just really, really tough. So, yeah, I mean, their goaltending's good. That's really about it for them. So they're going to be last place. Next, I have the Anaheim Ducks, who I think could finish last place. I think that they are still just getting the young talent going, building up the system a little bit. Obviously, you had Drysdale at the draft. Zegras has looked amazing at World Juniors. I think that Anaheim will be up and coming at some point, but I just don't think. I think it's way too soon for Anaheim. But things look good there in Anaheim, so Duck fans should be excited about that. Next, we have a team that I actually think could sneak in the playoffs, which is the Los Angeles Kings, if I could put them there. I have the Los Angeles Kings, and I think the question mark is their goaltending. Defensively, they're not that great, but forward-wise, I like their forward core a lot. You have Velarde, who probably is going to play. You have Byfield now, who's going to play. Turcotte, most likely. Elias Anderson, as much as a Ranger fan as I hate him, maybe he needed a change of scenery and things work out in LA. I think that the Kings could end up sneaking into the playoffs. But like I said, question mark is goaltending. Jonathan Quick is not getting any younger, but I expect him to get moved at the deadline. Next, we have another team that I think could make the playoffs with the San Jose Sharks. Now, things could be different with this prediction if Evander Kane does not play because of the bankruptcy reasons. I think that the Sharks, though, you have a healthier Sharks team, and if Jones could just give you half of the production that we've seen him put up before. I don't remember what season it was where he was insane in the playoffs. If you just get half of that, and then you get Devin Dubnyk to play decent also, San Jose could be a pretty good team. I like the forward core with Couture, Meyer, Hurdle up there. But, defensively, there's no way Carlson could have that bad of a year again. He just got to stay healthy. And Burns also. Yeah, I think that San Jose could sneak in, but I have them finishing fifth in the division. Now, coming in fourth place, I have the Minnesota Wild, and they're just the best out of the bottom five. I mean, that's really all I could say about them. I don't know. Goaltending is their question mark for sure. Stalock and Talbot will probably be their goaltenders. Can Talbot kind of rejuvenate his career a little bit, which we've been waiting for a while now? We'll see. But I do like Minnesota's defense. Their forward core, they are going to need Zuccarello back soon. But I think that Minnesota will be able to get in the playoffs. Now, the top three, we got St. Louis coming in at third. You add Hoffman and Krug this offseason. That is huge. They could finish second in the division, but I really like the moves that the Blues made. Just those two moves alone, I really, really like for them. And St. Louis, you got to be excited going into the season. Now, this league is, obviously crazy sometimes, so maybe they do miss the playoffs. Same with the second place team I have, just because of how crazy the league is. I just don't expect it, though, but we've seen crazier things happen in this league, like I said. Next, second place, Vegas Golden Knights. Again, I don't expect them to miss the playoffs, but if they do, I wouldn't be surprised, only because of the way the league is sometimes. But Vegas, obviously, we know they have great talent in the forward core with Stone, Carlson, guys like that, Pacioretty. Defensively, you add Alex Pietrangelo to that mix of guys. I think that this Vegas team is going to be really good, but there's just one team better in the division, which is the Colorado Avalanche. And man, is Colorado just going to be lethal. Colorado is going to be so good this year. And if they have healthy goaltending in the postseason this year, look out, because they could win the cup easily, in my opinion. Now, going on to the Central Division, I got the Blackhawks in last place. I mean, they're not going to have Taves for a while. They're not going to have Duck for the entire season. They literally have no goaltending. Come on, they're going to finish last. Next, we got Detroit. I think they're going to be better. I don't think they're going to do great, but I think they're going to be better than last year. You add guys like Bobby Ryan, Vlad Nemestikov, Thomas Greiss to the mix. I think that is a huge upgrade to your team over what you had last year in Detroit. But obviously, they still don't have anything great there. So they're just going to finish 7th in the division. Not much to say with them. Coming in 6th place, I have the Nashville Predators. I mean, Soros has to be better. Rene has to be better. I don't know what to say with Nashville. They're just a weird team to me. They look good on paper, except for the goaltending to me. But I don't know. There's just something about that team. I feel like that there's some disconnection going on with them, that they just can't put it together and get a good season going, or at least in the playoffs. I think that I've been saying it for a year or two now. They got to rebuild or retool somehow in some way. Obviously, you'd think they did with like the Subban trade and getting Duchesne, but something's not clicking there in Nashville, and they got to prove it this year. Otherwise, I think that they got to go full rebuild or just do a big retool, like I said. Coming in 5th place in this division, this could be a hot take. I have the Dallas Stars. You're missing Sagan for a bit. Hudobin is going to have to carry the weight with Bishop out. Like, I don't know. I don't think Dallas is I know they made the cup final last year, so people are probably going to call me crazy for this, but you have those 2 injuries. Those are huge hits to the team. And also, I just think that Dallas got hot at the right time in the playoffs / play-ins last year. I don't know. Call me crazy, but I just don't think that Dallas is going to be able to put it together. If Bishop and Sagan could get back in the lineup sooner rather than later, then sure, they could jump up the standings a little bit. But I don't know, man. I just don't see it happening. Coming in 4th place, we got the Florida Panthers. Now, I think that Bobrovsky can bounce back. I don't think he's going to be Vezina caliber, but I think he's going to be better than last year. Like, you can't be worse than last year. Drieger's got to be good, like he was last season. And I just like that Florida team. You have Owen Tippett coming on to play for them, and I just think that Florida is going to be a pretty solid team. And 4th place, I was high on them last year because of the Bobrovsky addition, which I was kind of right. If they did have Bobrovsky live up to that contract, they probably would have been a lot better than they were, but I don't know. I have them finishing 4th. This is a team now that I may be a little high on, but Columbus, I mean, I love that Max Domi edition. That Max Domi edition, I love it for some reason. I wanted the Rangers to get him so bad, but Max Domi is going to help that offense more than people know. You have Merzlikins in that Korpisalo. Just like I said, you need to rely on 2 goalies now in this league, and especially in this short season. And I think that having those 2 goalies is really going to help. Obviously, losing Murray on defense is a little bit of a hit, but I think Columbus is going to finish there. Again, though, like Dubois, that situation could end up hurting this prediction, but we'll see what happens. Time will tell with that. 2nd place, maybe a little bit of a hot take, but I got the Tampa Bay Lightning because you have Kucherov out, and then the team that I have in 1st place, I just think is going to go off this year for some reason. I don't know why, but Tampa Bay, I think that I think the top 2 teams in this division really stand out from the rest. They could finish 1st, obviously, but I just think Kucherov's really going to be reason why they don't win this division, which is why I have the Carolina Hurricanes. Yes, goaltending wise, I've been saying goaltending is going to help and be a big role in this, but Carolina's defense and their offense is so good that I just don't think that I think they could get away with a decent Peter Mrazek and James Reimer. I think that they are going to win the division. I don't know why. I just got this feeling that Aho and Svechnikov are going to have career years this year. I I don't know. I'm just feeling something big with Carolina. And then that defense, like I said, is just really good. Now, the last division, the East Division. This is where I got the hottest takes. And let's get into it. Last place, the New Jersey Devils. With Crawford, maybe they finish a little higher, but I do like the moves they made getting Andreas Janssen. You got Ryan Murray also. I mean, I liked some of the moves they made, but I don't know. I think that they still need to develop a little bit, and they're going to need a little more talent from the draft. But I think that they got a good prospect pool, of course. They're going to be a few years away, in my opinion, 2-3 years away. 7th place, Buffalo Sabres. I know they added Taylor Hall, they added Eric Stahl, but I don't know. The goaltending is just such a huge question mark for me. Defense, besides Dahlin, like, what do you got there? Ristolainen, sure, but is he going to be well defensively? Who knows? I don't know. I don't have a good feeling about Buffalo, but now this is where the division to me becomes a toss-up. The final 6 spots is where it becomes a toss-up. I have the Pittsburgh Penguins finishing 6th in the East, and I just don't like that defense. That defense is so bad. Is DeSmith really going to be that good of a backup for them? Who knows? Is Jari going to be as good as he was last year? Who knows? The defense, though, oh man, it's bad. Like, give Cody Ceci on that defense. Besides the top pair, oh man, that defense is going to be kind of brutal. I mean, you got Marino back there, you got Letang. Sure. The rest of the team just is a little concerning defensively. Offensively, we know Crosby and Malkin what they could do. So Pittsburgh obviously could jump the standings, but I just don't see it. Now we got 5th place. I have the Washington Capitals, and originally I did think they would be a top team, but losing Lundqvist hurts more than people realize, because now you have a question mark for your backup goalie. And the other question I have with this team is their defense as good as they look on paper? The Schultz contract, they kind of overpaid a little, but that defense I still think is pretty good to where they could finish second. Like, I was contemplating putting them in second place. Just, again, it's such a toss-up to me, except for first place. I think that that's a lock in my opinion, but it's a toss-up for me. So I was like, do they go second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth? Because, again, this division is probably the hardest to predict, but I have them finishing 5th. Coming in 4th place, Boston Bruins. I'm ready to hear it. I'm ready. I am tired of hearing all this Boston Bruins hype from everyone, because defensively, you lose Torrey Krug, you lose Chara. That defense is brutal. That defense is awful. Halak is getting older. Who knows how he's going to be? You have Pastrnak out for a bit. Yeah, sure, you had Craig Smith, but forward-wise still, I think that there's still holes on that roster forward-wise. I just don't think the forward core is really that complete, in my opinion, specifically the bottom 6. Sure, you could make trades to fill that out, but defensively there's too many holes. Backup goaltending, I think Halak is not going to be that great, but again, I could see them finishing in second because they're the Bruins. But I'm tired of hearing, like, just because they're the Bruins, they're going to be first or second in the division. Could they be there? Sure, but I just don't see it like other people do. I don't know. Now we got 3rd place. I have the New York Islanders. I don't know. To me, there's just so many holes on... Well, not so many. I don't know if I want to say holes on the roster, because when you're trapping, it's, like, hard to say that there's really holes on the roster with them. But Sorokin's a question mark. I meant to say question marks, really. Is the defense going to be good enough after losing Devon Toews? And, you know, that their team, with their system, they rely on chemistry to get the team going, and losing certain guys on the team, you lose some of that chemistry. And then you have the third line, apparently, like, Bellows is going to play or whatever for the Islanders. So Bellows, who knows how his chemistry is going to be with the team. Wallstrom, if he plays. That team relies on too much chemistry for me to put them at the top. And yeah, I just don't think that they're gonna. I don't know. I could see them falling below the playoff line easily. Like the second place team, even the New York Rangers. I'm ready to hear the bias comments. I'm ready to hear it, but I'm telling you right now that this offensive group, people are kind of overlooking the bottom six. You have Lafreniere, you have Hedel, you have Gauthier, Lemieux's solid there on the bottom six. That bottom six is pretty good for West. The whole argument is their defense isn't good enough, but if Miller and Trouba are as good as advertised, like they are talking about and hyping up in camp, the Rangers can easily finish towards the top of the division, no question. If Trouba bounces back, you have the Fox and Lindgren pair, which is really, really good in my opinion, and is underrated, I meant to say. And I just think that the only question mark is the Johnson-D'Angelo pair, Smith-D'Angelo, whoever's playing with D'Angelo pair. But I think that then you just make a move at the deadline, help your defense out a bit, and this team could be legit. Obviously, Shesterkin has to prove in a larger sample size that he is the real deal, which I believe he will. Even then, you have Georgiev as the backup. I'm not worried. I think that I'm ready for the bias comments, but I think the Rangers are a top team. But again, they could fall below the playoff line. First place to me is a lock. Philadelphia Flyers. They were the best team in the division last year, and I just think that they're going to do it again. They're going to be the best team again in the division. And not much to say. Carter Hart's going to have a big year. I think that I think he could win the Vezina this year, honestly. I think that he is the real deal. And the question mark is defensively. But I don't know. I just don't see them doing bad this year. So that's going to be my predictions. Hope you guys enjoy. Please be sure to leave a like, subscribe if you guys are new. And that's in Python. I'm out. Peace.